Begin by removing the center and 2 rear tunnel braces to gain access to the exhaust. In order to properly remove the exhaust, you will need to carefully remove the rear bumper valance. Remove the bolts on both sides of the exhaust tips on both sides of the car. Then the retaining clips that sit at the very front of the left and right side of the rear bumper. Remove the small screw on the inner left and right side towards the front of the rear bumper. Unbolt the center portion of the rear valance that tucks up in between the 2 rear mufflers. With all of those fasteners removed, carefully pop the rear valance out of its mounting tabs. They require a slight press downward to pop out easily. With the valance removed, you can now remove the exhaust. Unclip the muffler valve actuators at the very back of the car. Then pull off the 2 center exhaust hangers. The rear exhaust hangers sitting just forward of the rear mufflers can simply slide out of their mounting position. Unbolt the center exhaust hanger mount in between the 2 rear mufflers. Then loosen the 2 exhaust clamps at the end of the downpipes. There are still 2 hangers attached at the very back above the 2 rear mufflers. Pull the front of the exhaust down and forward to slide it out of those 2 hangers. Then pull the exhaust completely off of the car. Unbolt and remove the center heat shield that sits between the driveshaft and the center section of the exhaust. Support the driveshaft. Make a cut on both sides of the carrier frame. Then cut the rest of the frame away from the bearing using a razor blade. Unbolt the remaining carrier frame from the car. With your razor blade, cut the remaining excess rubber hanging off the center of the bearing all the way around until it's flush with the base layer of rubber. But leave the base layer of rubber intact. Do not cut all the way down to bare metal. Your bearing should look like this when you're done. For the new carrier, start with the top half with the bushing in it and slide it over top of the bearing with the text facing the front of the vehicle. Then bring the bottom half up to meet it and connect the 2 together using the provided Allen bolts. As you tighten the bolts, switch back and forth from left to right so the bolts don't bind in the holes. A small gap may form between the two bushings. This is normal. To mount it to the car, take a provided shoulder bolt, add a fender washer, an isolation damper with the small end facing up, go up through the carrier, add another isolation damper facing down from the top, and the smaller diameter fender washer on the very top. Repeat these steps on the other side. Bolt, fender washer, isolation damper with the small end facing up through the carrier, another damper facing down, and the smaller fender washer on top. Tighten both bolts to the car. Reinstall your heat shield, exhaust, rear valance, tunnel braces, and your installation is complete.